Free. That's a word that gets our attention pretty quick. Free food, free clothes, free higher education. This word gets our attention so quick that we don't stop to think of the consequences behind it. As a college student, free sounds wonderful to me, but I try to pay attention to the hidden costs people don't always notice. Free higher education would inevitably decrease the value of education. In this speech, I will talk to you about the opportunity cost of free higher education, the quality of education brought on by the cost of education, and finally, how education costs makes people value their education more. First, I will discuss the opportunity cost of free higher education. According to economicshelp.org, if we spend billions on free university education, there is an opportunity cost of higher taxes or less spending elsewhere. The economics saying there is no such thing as a free lunch clearly applies to the losses the economy would experience if education was free. Next, I will discuss what would happen to the quality of education if higher education was free. The more money universities take in, the more money they can dispense to improve the quality of education and spend it on student events and activities. For example, according to the University of South Florida webpage, fees charged to the students go to bettering things like green energy and technology. Our smart lab and our new multimodal media room are funded by these types of fees. Universities get the money to have these amazing resources from money that the students pay. If higher education is free, then the schools, the universities, everything would be expected to provide the same resources high schools provide. Nothing. Finally, I will talk to you about how education costs make people value their education more. In the survey, 45% of you stated you get complete financial help from family, and 81% of you stated you have a job to help pay for college. That's a lot. But only 4% of you stated it interferes with school. When deciding to come to college, you discuss if you are financially stable enough to handle it with your parents, and your parents will tell you how to afford it, what you need to go through, what jobs you might need to get, and how far it can take you. Deciding to go to college is a huge step towards adulthood for most students, and having to pay for it makes it that much more important. According to debatewise.org, making students think about the cost of their education makes them think harder about what they want and how to study it and where they want to go in their lives. So students choose majors more wisely. If education was free, students may just pick random degrees that they're not passionate about but think is a good idea at the time, and spend their whole lives getting pointless degrees and never getting anywhere. In conclusion, higher education is important, but it also needs to be taken seriously, which is why we pay for it. In this speech, I talked about opportunity cost, quality of education, and how cost causes value. To leave you, I would just like you to imagine if come graduation day, after 4 or more years of college work that you just put in, your college degree is worth as much as your high school diploma.